Good evening and welcome to the November 16th Parks Commission meeting. LakeCAM is recording. Sorry, were we not ready?
I was banging on here, make sure it worked.
LakeCAM is recording our meeting tonight. And is anybody else recording? And there's nobody in our audience this evening. So that's a no, nobody's recording. Hopefully this will be a quick meeting. On our agenda, number 1, Parks Commission announcements. Okay, that's me. We've been asked to post the Friends of the COA wreath sale for December 3rd at the Old Town Hall on our sign. And we also have All That Glitters December 1st and 2nd that needs to go on our signs. So I don't know the pleasure. We can do one on each side of each of our signs. Does that work for everybody?
Who asked first?
The Friends of the Council on Aging asked first, but the wreath, All That Glitters has been posted every year.
Are they both the same time?
Well,
A day
one's
apart.
December 1st and 2nd, and the other one's the 3rd.
One on each side. How can anybody get mad at us for that?
I don't know. Any other ideas, Paula?
No, I just know that in the past, whoever asked first was
Gets it?
got the signage, but,
I don't think the Friends of the Council on Aging would mind sharing, though, do you?
Why don't you do wreath sale going in the direction of the town hall and all that glitters in the direction of the town hall and the wreath sale on the way out, because they're going to be going on the same road, and all that glitters is in the direction of the town hall, and it's going to make them double guess it, so it's like gaslighting them. Like
Are you
they're
gonna
think,
direct
"Hold on,
traffic?
I thought, what?
You're gonna direct traffic.
No, when they drive by, because they're going to say, wait, I thought that said something different. So it's going to be it's going to mess with their mind.
Should we find out if they're
And that's
going
what we're all
to
about.
advertise on the town hall one?
I'm sure that they're gonna put both of them on there.
So if
I
they
don't know
do
for
that,
sure,
why
but-
do we need to do it here also?
What else are we gonna put on there?
I thought we were doing
the
the wreath sale is there, the glitter thing is here.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you do the event that's here?
If, you know what, I'll call, what's today? Town hall's closed. On Monday, I will check with Kim, the clerk's office, right, and see what they're put on. And if they're putting both on, then we can put both on, but if they're putting yours on, cause you're at there, right? Then we'll just do All That Glitters here.
Do you have enough letters for 4 repeats of the same message?
Yeah, because these are giant letters and those are little letters.
Got it.
Well, if you're putting on all that glitters, then maybe you would allow a larger sign for Friends of the Council on Aging, if they put up their own sign at the park.
Where? Do we let people put signs up at the park?
They can't put them out there. We can't have 2 signs out there at the same time. That's per Nate.
Right,
We
so-
couldn't have a second sign.
So that's a no, we don't put.
No.
We've never allowed it.
Okay.
Why don't we split it and let all that glitters on Precinct Street and the wreath sale on Bedford Street?
This has gotten really confusing.
Because,
They're 2 different dates.
But they're both the same weekend.
yeah,
I mean, if one was one week and one was the next week, then we could do
right,
it that
that
way.
wouldn't be a
but-
problem, and I think that's what it was last year, so
Yeah, I don't think it was the same week.
it wasn't. So I don't know what the deal is.
Put
All
one on
right,
each
so-
side.
Yeah. I think let's do that one on each side. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can we find out what side we're gonna be on for the Friends? Can we do Bedford Street for the Friends?
Half of Bedford Street for the Friends, and half of Precinct Street for the Friends. Keep in mind that we make money off of All That Glitters, so we really need to do
Promote
that
it.
as well.
I agree.
We get money for that?
Yeah, last year we got $92.
It's better than nothing.
Okay. Number 2, items from the clerk. That's you, Peter.
Did that pass?
Yes,
And we're
Scott, Brenna, and I, and Mike voted yay,
For,
splitting it.
Splitting it.
for glitter on both signs?
Both
No.
signs split 50-50.
Friends of Council on Aging wreath sale on one half, and All That Glitters on the other half.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that's reasonable.
Okay.
Thank you.
The only thing I've included on there on page 2 there is just the latest financial figures. This isn't a full financial report, but I had the town budget report and I reconciled it with our figures, and so that is up to date in terms of just our overall spending and revenue.
Okay.
We still haven't rearranged the other stuff, though.
No.
No.
No, that's our thing.
And we haven't gotten another payment from Boston Tavern since last time.
No, there's nothing else. So, but anyway,
Okay.
it's all looking good.
Sure is, thank you.
Okay. Okay, number 3, minutes. Discuss and possible, no, number 3, discuss and possible vote on the quote to remove the tree next to the Horseshoe Club. So last
Did we
meeting.
approve the minutes?
We approved it
Oh,
last
2.
meeting.
You skipped approve
Am I
minutes.
on the wrong thing?
No,
Number
you're right,
3.
we just didn't approve the minutes yet.
We gotta approve the minutes.
Okay, anybody find any errors in the minutes?
No, it seemed pretty accurate.
You spelled my name wrong, Peter.
I do it every once in a while.
I know,
just
I think it's to keep me on my
I
toes.
did, okay.
Page 3, no, page 5. Item number 8, paragraph 4, line 2. I know, it's really in there too. All in favor of passing the minutes with those revisions?
Need a motion.
We have motion.
Oh, motion,
Are you
sorry.
okay today?
No.
Jeez.
All right.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
My pen's dying. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Scott, aye.
Sure. I wasn't here.
All right, the minutes passed
Noted.
with that one change. Number 4. Discuss and possible vote on quote for removal of tree next to horseshoe shed. So last meeting,
Okay.
last meeting, it was, we didn't know if it had prevailing wage. So I went back to South Coast Tree and he said he will put prevailing wage in and do it for $3,150, which is $175 more than the first one. And then Barnes Tree, I called them just to make sure, and he said, oh, he's like, it's just about prevailing wage. And I'm like, well, it needs to be prevailing wage. Like when town asks if it's prevailing wage, I have to be able to say yes. So he said, oh, well, I can do it for $3,500 then. So he wrote it on his invoice, $3,500, and I wrote it on my invoice, $3,500, and that's that. So we have South Coast Tree for $3,150 and Barnes Tree for $3,500, including prevailing wage.
And what do they do? They're just cutting the tree, or they're not taking the stump, they're not?
They're not stump grinding. No, we had, Mike had Frank look at it and he didn't think so, and we had
Yeah, I didn't.
Paula's stump guy come out and he said he didn't even have machinery that could do that. And he recommended leaving it.
That's fine.
And I'm sorry, how low did we decide to do it?
The tree curves, like it's against the shed and then it curves out like this and
Uh-huh.
it grows back up. So in that curve, so they can get,
So is
All
it
the way
roof
without-
level, or is it?
no, it's lower than the
Oh,
roof
okay.
level.
Just for the record, the commission voted to approve South Coast's 2 meetings ago. So
Yes,
the issue is really only the price.
right. So is
Thank
it,
you.
oh, sorry.
Oh, boy, can we adjourn this meeting? I'm good.
I tried to skip things, you guys wouldn't let me.
So South Coast is cheaper for 31 as opposed to
3150, yep. So if we could have a motion to go with them for that price.
I make a motion that South Coast do the job for 31.
Who's gonna be responsible for
31.50.
taking down the wires?
He's gonna call MG&E the day before and they'll take down their wires. Apparently some of the other wires up there are not MG&E wires, so the ones that go to the Horseshoe Club, he said he could do it without removing the wires. We're just taking MG&Es down as a precaution,
Mm-hmm.
so,
I second the motion.
thank you, Britta.
You're welcome.
Any discussion?
Yeah, the only discussion I have is, I think we should let the Horseshoe Club know that their donation should be paid within 30 days of the receipt that we did it. So I don't want to chase it in January. I don't want to say, oh, I want to credit to something, because that's real money to us that could go towards it. So I think I would like to put in there that the Horseshoe Club gives their donation within 30 days of us paying it, the receipt.
And is this coming out of the 28K?
Yeah. But like I said, it's real money to us. so.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So within 30 days of the tree's removal,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Alrighty, all in favor?
Aye.
Let's go.
Just as a point of order, I think he has to add that as an amendment to.
An amendment.
I make an amendment to the motion to approve South Coast Tree Service so that the Loon Pod Lodge of donation of 500 is paid within 30 days.
Horseshoe Club.
The Horseshoe Club, sorry, is paid within 30 days of the tree being removed.
I'll second the amendment.
Any discussion? All right, so all in favor of the amendment that the Horseshoe Club pays within their $500 donation within 30 days of the tree being removed?
I'm sorry, what is the punishment if they don't?
What is the punishment?
Well, what happens if they don't? Like, is this
Well,
just
they
like
have
protocol, or
to,
is
no,
this-
they have to agree to do it before we cut down the tree.
Got it.
That's it.
No discussion. Sorry. I didn't mean punishment, I just.
All in favor
Aye.
Aye.
of the amendment? Okay, back to the original motion. Is there any discussion on the original motion?
Who's motioning now for the original?
We go back to,
Never mind, I got it.
yeah. All in favor of the original motion to have South Coast Tree remove the tree for $3,150, including prevailing wage?
Aye.
Aye.
Mike,
Aye, sorry.
unanimously, all aye. Okay, number 5. Discuss and vote to recommend Loon Pond Lodge. See, my agenda is different because I used,
Is that in here?
Page 9.
Thank you.
discuss and vote to recommend Loon Pond Lodge contract. On page 9. Okay, so there was a little bit of a miscommunication or a misunderstanding, actually. So when we said that the percentage seemed low and the flat rate seemed high, that's because in the Boston Tavern's mind, the flat fee did not include room fees. That it was just, like, once he paid that flat fee, we got nothing else, no room fees, no anything. So, once that was clarified, they tried to rescind that flat fee portion of the contract. And once we conferred with the lawyer, if they rescinded that half of the contract, then the contract would have been voided. So he obviously had to reinstate that part of the contract. So as it stands, it's 14% of food and beverage and room fee is one option. And the other option is the flat rate of $9,500, $10,000, and $10,500. Because he rescinded the extra $1,000 and just went with the original contract.
Question is, isn't the percentage on the food and beverage and the room fee is at 100%?
The room fee is 100%. 14% is on the
Food,
bar and food.
beverage, okay.
And non-alcoholic beverages. Although the meals come with coffee or tea.
14% on all the beverages.
Yes,
14% on all the beverages, yes.
which is lower than what we're getting now.
So fixed with room fee would typically be that number or always be that number?
Fixed with the room fee would typically be that number, because you would get the fixed $10,000 a month
Mm-hmm.
plus whatever the room fee came out to be. So some months it'll be 1,500, some months it'll be 5,000. So you're still never gonna have that flat fee
How long is this contract for?
3 years again.
Does
And I believe it's 3 years and, there's
Option to
either
renew.
12, no, it can't have an option to renew because it has to go out to bid. But if there's a, like, not a notice to terminate, but a notice that we're not happy with them, 12 to 18 months prior, we have to give that at least 12 months prior to the next contract. So they can stop booking.
I think in this economy, going with a percentage base is kind of risky. And I would rather just pick the option that gives us what we might make based on the percentages.
That's what, 100%, and that's what I said, because we're not in the food and beverage business, okay?
No.
We shouldn't, once you get a percentage, then you're a partner, okay? Then you gotta trust someone. I'm not saying I don't trust them, but what I'm saying is that if we don't audit their figures, then who knows, okay? So, for it to work as a partner, every time they give you a check, you're gonna have to look at their sales, you're gonna look at everything, okay? You're gonna have to look at their sales and tax reports and make sure it's being done correctly. You're gonna have to say, well, why is it lower? Are the menus high? Are the prices not, whatever. We shouldn't be involved with that, okay? Scott can't even do a budget because he doesn't know what's gonna happen. If they have a downturn, if something happens to their business or whatever, who's gonna suffer? We're gonna suffer.
COVID.
Well, if something
What?
happens,
COVID.
Well, yeah,
No, I'm saying.
No, but I'm just saying, I would like to go forward and say, this is our budget for the year. If they do less, I'm sorry. If they do more, good for them. They're working hard. But I think the other key that Melissa said was that helped is that we're not responsible for electric and all of that. Once again, otherwise we're gonna have to go check. Why are you cooking? Why are the lights on? This Parks Commission has been backed up to the wall with a lot of work. We shouldn't be worried about that. It should be a triple net lease. Here's our check every month. Peter gets it, deposits it, goes into our account. Have a nice day. That's as simple as I can make it.
Question? Is the percentage going to go up on a yearly basis?
nope, it's 14% each year.
Which is lower than what it is now.
Yep.
Yeah. When we met with him, we asked if he could go up on the percentage and he said no, he couldn't go up on the percentage, but he was willing to go up $1,000 on the flat rate. But once he realized that the room fees were excluded from that, he had to take that addition back. Understandably.
But here's the issue. There's only been one bid. So, and I'll bring up something why I'm not happy about that one bid. But as far as he's concerned, if he doesn't want what we want to do, then back out and we'll get somebody else. So we dictate the terms. They don't dictate the terms, okay? They already have things booked. It's nice they want to be a partner, but if he doesn't like the terms that we present them so that we do well, then just say, I'm sorry, if these are the terms. If you don't want to sign them, then we'll reject the bid and we'll go out again. Just because he's the only bidder doesn't mean that we got to fall into his plan. And can I go further on this, or do you just want me to discuss this contract?
Yeah, I want you to discuss the contract, so.
Where was this
if you're
advertised?
not- If you're going on
Okay,
a
no.
tangent, then.
Okay, here's the issue.
I mean, I didn't even, honestly, I didn't even know it actually went out to bid.
Okay, well, this is the issue.
I didn't know we had
And first
accepted the
off, I'm gonna
contract.
thank Melissa for doing a great job. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Melissa.
But I dug on this. I got 2 phone calls from 2 different entities who wanted to bid on this, okay? So I said, why didn't you know? So what I found out, I got answers. I got emails from Ari, I talked to everybody about this. So the first time we did this, back when, and every RFP we do, okay, Northfields, whatever, we always go to local vendors first because we want to give people the work if they can do it. And we say, hey, this is going out to bid. We invite you to bid on it. If you can, great. If not, but we'd like to give, 2 out of the 3 bids that won on Northfields were local people because I invited them. When they did it the first time, they invited local people first. Fireside, Dave's Diner, and this other person, okay? That didn't happen this time. Nobody was invited. The only one who was invited to bid was Boston Tavern. So when we ask about where it went out in publications,
It was in the Nemasket.
okay, well, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay, sorry.
So you have to, as a state government and a municipality, you have to put it into the central register and all of this stuff. Generally, 99% of that stuff has to do with construction bids, maintenance bids, all of that, okay?
It's everything.
It's everything, but if I'm a restaurant owner here, I don't look at that for bids, right? I didn't even, seriously. If anything was happening in town, would you go to the central register of town? No,
If I was a restaurant and I knew the contract was up, I would.
no. I'm just saying, no, I'm sorry. There's not I'll go to 100, 200 restaurants and they don't know what it is. But how would they know that it's up for contract? Okay, let's go to the Nemasket, okay? I love that paper, okay? It's great, I read it, but it's not a place to put a bid because it comes out once a week. If you miss it, or if you miss it for 2 or 3 weeks, you're not gonna see the bid. The one thing that really knocked me out was that all the RFPs I think we put out were on the town website. Northfields, everything. This wasn't.
Did you see it on the North? Did you see
It's not on the
Northfields on the town website?
Yes,
Did you?
yes.
What did you see on the town site?
RFPs usually go on there.
Did you say Northfield?
Northfields was on there.
But this was not.
This was not on there. So how can local people know about this? If it's not on the town website, it's out there somewhere, and we personally did invite them. Now, if I knew it was gonna handle this way, I would have knocked on doors. I would have went to a lot of people and say, hey, because it only benefits us. Now look at us, we're scrambling on one guy who's gonna determine what we're gonna do. We don't know if we can get twice this money, right? So it's not the contract I'm worried about. I'm just we're only dealing with one person, when especially we didn't do that before, okay? We do the same thing. We go to local vendors. There's no way that if you're a local vendor, would you know that this was happening? It wasn't even on the town website. So,
And the explanation for that?
okay, so I got explanations. You want to read the explanation?
No, just give
No,
us the
just
Cliff
tell
Okay.
Notes
us
version.
why it didn't.
Is that we don't have to do that. Pretty much, we don't have to do that, okay? We follow the law by going to these things, which is fine. You do have to do that. If you want to put it in the Nemasket, great, put it in the Nemasket. But I don't understand why it wasn't on the town website and why nobody went out and invited other people like we did last time and like we do all the time. So Boston Tavern was given a huge advantage because they were the only ones technically to be invited to bid, right? Nobody else was asked. Boston Tavern was invited to bid by us. That's the only reason they knew how to bid, right? How else did they find out? Because we told them, hey, you're up. You're
Well,
gonna
they
have
knew
to.
their contract was up, so.
Okay, but that's still an advantage they have over other people. So, so yeah, I've been dealing with this for the last 2 or 3 days. And like I said, I love the contract, but just puts up against the wall. It is in April. I was kind of told that we can't do that because town council said that, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say it, but I don't care at this point, that we could get sued by Boston Tavern. Well, if we reject their bid and go out to bid again, nobody can sue us because we rejected their bid. How many bids have we rejected, right? Are they all gonna sue us? They haven't signed anything. If they sign something, that's one thing, but it's not signed. So we can pretty much reject their bid, go to talk to all these people. If they wanna come, great. If they don't, then we know where we are. And if their bids are less, that's fine. But if their bids are better, then we're just leaving money out on the table. And we're the ones suffering. The town's not suffering on this. This is our money. We need this to do what we gotta do. So, like I said, I have no problem with the contract, but I have problems the way it was gonna be done. And the select board still needs to approve this. Okay, so it has to go with them. And this argument needs to be brought up to them, because I don't think the select board knows much, because I don't think there was a select board person in the meeting, was there? So, they're not gonna know anything until they're presented with it.
Well, they weren't, I mean, it's not like we had these huge meetings. It was 2 meetings and we met with the lawyer. Like it wasn't, and they were Zoom meetings, so it wasn't even in person.
No.
So we don't want, and I know that Ari shared captions of like what went down in the meetings with the select board, as I did with you.
Oh, yeah, but they also, they don't know how it was advertised,
No.
because I know that. And, you know, like I said, I'm frustrated and upset about this because we're the ones who are suffering on that. And I was going to make a motion that we reject the bid and, reject the bid and then go out and get more bids. Invite people or whoever, or put it in a publication where, I mean, the Lisa should have went into Taunton Gazette. Because that covers Raynham too. There's a lot of restaurants there and they're only 20 minutes away. So I think we hurt ourselves by accepting this bid because we only got one bid. And that, when I heard the one bid, I said, there's something wrong here. And there's a reason. We got 3 bids last time. Why did we get 3 bids last time, only 1? Because the other people didn't know. They weren't invited by us, or it wasn't in a, you know, in a publication that maybe they could have seen it. And once again, I love them ask it, but, or it wasn't even on the town website.
So are you of the opinion that we should consider sending this back out to look for more bids?
My consideration, yes, what I want to do is reject this bid,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Tell them we reject the bid. I'm not even happy with it anyway, okay? I think we can do better, money-wise, now that I hear what they're doing, because we're only bidding against ourselves here. I mean, we're only arguing against ourselves. I like the terms, and those terms should go to other people, but who knows, maybe we get 18%, maybe you get 20%. We don't know, because we only got 1 bid.
What happens to that building if no one is in it?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry,
Like
what'd you say?
if nobody takes the contract, if the building just becomes vacant, what happens to it?
We're in trouble.
It becomes, yeah, that's
Fine.
our,
That's the
3/4
primary
of our
source
budget.
revenue.
That's the
But
primary
it-
source of our revenue.
Okay.
But that's not gonna happen.
No, I'm not saying it
Right,
doesn't.
right.
My concern, I understand what you're saying. My concern with it is that if we do reject this, I don't think they could sue us. I think that's silly
They
because we haven't signed anything. But I think they could change this when they come back. Like if because they're probably going to hang out. They're going to wait to see what happens.
Okay.
So my concern is that they could come back with something worse.
Worse?
Are we, yeah, worse, like lower, like, because they didn't anticipate this $3,800 room fee. They wouldn't have, I don't think they would have proposed $10,000 for a flat fee, because $10,000 is what we're making at the end of their percentage total.
Well, they're not gonna bite their nose to spite their face, because there'll be ongoing leases coming up.
Right, but
So-
what I'm saying is that they made the proposal of $10,000, thinking it was strictly $10,000,
Okay,
not
but-
a potential 14.
Okay, but if they have to bid again, don't you think their bid's gonna be higher, knowing they're gonna go against other people? They're not gonna go
Well,
lower,
that depends what the other people can come up
but
with.
they don't know that.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
right.
And, you know, I've had 2 different entities who said they would bid on it.
Are you able, you don't have to disclose them, but are they local? Are they big? What, do you know anything? about?
They're big, they're local, and they've been around a long time. So, and it's not hard to think
Scott?
who they are. I won't name them, I don't want to discuss it,
That's fine, I understand.
but, so that's what I was gonna say.
What do you think?
I have some questions. In the middle of this page, it says total food and bar, 539,000,
That's the total intake.
their intake,
Yes.
not our percentage.
No, you get 16% of that.
Excuse me, I gotta address it.
So,
We get what percent?
We get
right now you get 16.
We get
we've got-
16%
We've
of
only got $86,000 from them in the past 12 months.
Yeah. Well, no, that's food and bar. You also have gotten 45,000 in room fees.
But we get a percentage of the room fee.
No, you get 100% of the room fee, all of it.
100.
The room
So,
fee's only 28.
Because the room fee is a pass-through. It's not a fee per se. It's a pass-through. So they collect it and hand it over. It doesn't go into their,
We've got to have some input as to those room fees too. I mean,
yes,
because they slashed what we had, which were very reasonable.
yes. I do not disagree with you.
I mean,
But I will also say, I know we talked about giving the room away for bereavements for free, but I went through the past year to see who paid what and who got the room for free. So bereavements get the room for free, but we get that percentage of the food.
Mhm.
So even though we're not making a room fee, we're making $200, $300, $500, $600 for a Tuesday morning
Right.
for
Which-
a bereavement.
Which was, we were okay with that
Right,
because that was unanticipated revenue. And
Right.
it was unanticipated revenue on a time slot
that nobody else is gonna take.
nobody else was going to take.
Right,
You know, as to Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, when you have a competition to get the spot,
right.
that's where we had the room fees. But the,
All right, so Peter, Peter and I have
What do
run
you
so many numbers.
I think it should go back out to bid and it should be advertised
So
properly.
the food and bar for average wedding is 11, our portion of the food and bar for average wedding is $1,120. The average room fee for a wedding is $700. So last year there were 43 weddings and we made, I don't know how much we made. This year it's 65 weddings, which is 50% more. So that's a 50% increase. So that would brings us to $9,500 a month just on weddings alone. Just on the 14%.
Question?
Yep.
And the additional is the bar?
the
No,
room
the
rate
additional is the bereavements, is Christmas parties, birthday parties,
and the room rate.
and the room fees.
Room rate, but not the bar.
Well, you get the percentage of the bar. And the food. Which is the food is the big one. That's where the most of it comes in.
And that's where you said how much did they bring in last year? I'm sorry.
The weddings brought in $75,498.64 with 43 weddings. The additional 22 weddings would be an extra $24,640 a year. It comes out to be $100,138 plus the other events. So it's $9,500 a month. Like, I'm okay, like, looking at this contract, I understand what you're saying, and yes, I looked for it online and I didn't see it. Like, so I had to Google Loon Pond Lodge contract, and that's how I found it in the Damascus. So,
Good question.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so, I think before we vote on this contract, I think we need to decide whether we're going to reject the bid only not on the contract, only the fact that it wasn't advertised properly and we went other bids. If we do
But
that,
I
got the
You
floor.
can't say it wasn't advertised properly
It wasn't advertised.
to your liking.
It wasn't advertised to benefit us.
Okay,
Okay, not me personally,
right, okay.
but we're dealing with only one contract here.
Who's in
So-
charge of advertising it?
Ari. So here's my point. If we decide to reject the bid only into the fact that we don't think that the way we did the process doesn't benefit us, then we don't have to discuss this contract. If we don't decide to reject the bid because of that, then we can discuss this contract. Because it makes no
Well-
sense to approve it and then just say, well, we're gonna reject it on the fact that we don't like the bidding process.
Okay, and then you're gonna go to the select board and they're gonna say, we're fine with the way the bidding process was. And then they get to make the whole decision because we haven't discussed it and said which one we favored because
That.
you tabled it.
This, I'm not gonna say who I talked to, but I think they understand where we're coming from, okay?
I'm sure.
And I sat down with Brian Day months ago on the history of it, how it was handled, how it brought suspicions, how it was gonna change and how it was gonna be better, which it wasn't, okay? So this is our interest, and it's not like it's March 31st here, okay? We can get this done January 1st if we do things correctly. And yes, there's a risk, but there's a greater reward that if we get more bids, which I know we will.
When Boston Tavern, correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I wasn't here. When Boston Tavern took over from SEM, right? They had to do whatever SEM's contracts already said, and they had to go with those rates, and they had to bring in outside vendors and stuff like that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Because that's what the contracts were at the time, so they had to uphold the
They had
contracts.
to uphold those contracts.
Yep.
So
It would be the same,
it'll
again.
be the same. So are people out there anxious to come in knowing that there's 65 weddings already booked, that they're not gonna have a real big say over it, that they have to take no matter how big and how small?
As
They're
Boston
gonna have to
Tavern
do.
was when they bid, knowing they were
That's a
gonna get
plus.
that.
Yeah,
For the
It's a fish eating a fish in a field.
right, but the little fish, Boston Tavern was the little fish that had like 20 weddings. And the other thing that they've done is, Loon Pond Lodge had a really bad reputation for weddings because things were slow, because it wasn't a huge company. So they have rebuilt that image, and now they're becoming one of the area's best wedding venues. So that's something they've put in so that it would be another plus for these people, but
And, history is history. They didn't win the bid. Okay, so
well,
they didn't win the bid from the last time. And that's public knowledge. So this is what we're dealing with. All I want is that everything is consistent, it's straight, everyone gets a chance to bid on this, that there's no politics involved, and the parks benefits. I don't think the way this is handled, we're benefiting on this. We're fighting over crumbs now, 1%, 2%. We shouldn't be doing this. I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. This is our lifeblood here. This is our lifeblood.
Yeah.
And,
We were promised a lot of money.
well, the last contract said, and this contract says that they think they'll do $1 million. We didn't get it. We didn't come any close to it.
No, we
Anyone
didn't
can
close.
promise what they want.
So that's affected our budget and what we can do here at the parks.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted kind of a flat fee, so we don't, whatever. But this is the time, under this regime, that we get it straight for future people too. Because these next 3 years are gonna be important to us. Who knows with the leagues, everything. We wanna spend more money on things. We're doing upgrades. We need to do this right under our tutelage and not just fight over little crumbs in a rat trap.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that we could get a better deal?
I would put it at an 8.
I'm inclined to agree with you because from my very short time on the Parks Commission, it gets the crap end of the stick in a lot of areas. And I feel like everybody else makes these decisions for us and then allows us absolutely no input that actually has substantial meaning. And we hemorrhage money every single year, and we're trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding, but there's no actual opportunity to do so. So I do have a concern that if it goes out, this bid is gone and it could come back worse. I want to make that clear. I do have that
Well,
concern.
there's always a chance, but right now we got nothing.
Right. So
Something, but something I am not happy with.
I'm inclined to agree with you, and Paula
I'm
is as
inclined
well.
to agree with you. When you hear that only one bid came in,
That raises
and
red
there
flags.
was not a lot of advertisement to benefit the park, I think we were shortchanged.
At least invite people, I would go out and knock on doors. I'd go to Taunton, I'd go to Raynham, I'd go to Lakeville, I'd go to Middleborough, knock on the door, hey, this bid is coming up, would you be interested? There's a lot of good organizations out there who don't even know about it. We should have 8, 10 bids. This is a nice little area. They're busy, obviously they're busy, they can make, they can make money, but just by throwing it out like that, and like you said, the public thinks that the taxpayer pays for us. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
No, we live paycheck to paycheck. We do.
So my question for you,
Yes, ma'am.
because I agree with you that they have built it up a lot. They have made it into a nice reputation. Do you think they would bid on it again if it went out?
I think they would.
And do you think they would appreciate, because, I mean, they are here, regardless of how it was done, they are here. They would appreciate it that we consider, or I don't know if we're allowed to do this, that like, if we get other bids, they could submit one as well, knowing that. it might
They
be
would
different.
have to,
Yeah.
because the whole process would be, they would have to come back with another bid. They can't just keep their bid. I mean, they could and send it to us. That's up to them.
Are they allowed to know what the other bids
No.
are?
No,
No.
they just,
State law, any law.
I'm
when
just curious.
the bids are opened, they can hand deliver and say how many bids are there, like how the number of bids that come in are as public knowledge, but
But you also said that if we reject this and it goes to the select board, they can also just push it through regardless.
oh, absolutely.
Okay, so once
They can
again, they can push it through even if we reject it.
They can, but I wouldn't advise it because it's the Parks Commission. We're the ones who turn it down. It's our revenue. I don't think they want to get into that bee's nest.
M-
Or at least my bee's
I
nest.
understand that. I
But they have the power to do that.
and I don't think.
Sure, but
the care.
I hope they don't do that because then it's gonna confirm Brenda's thing is how
hope
they just do
that.
whatever they want to do.
that no one cares
That no one
of
cares.
an input of committees
Right,
and commissions.
and
So
there's-
my question now is, can we make a motion that we recommend to the select board, this is not me making the motion, this is just a question, that we make the suggestion of rejecting the bid and sending it back out, but if they elect not to, we go with the fixed room fee. Are we allowed to
Well,
put
no,
a
no, no,
condition
we-
on a rejection?
We can't do that now because once we can only do that is if once we reject it,
Yeah.
we can't discuss it anymore.
No, I get that.
But, and if the select board rejects what we are gonna do,
Yes.
then this will come back to us again.
So it'll
I-
come back
I
to us.
don't know why you think that.
Think what?
Well, two things. One, that they're gonna take what we say. Like, history has shown that is not the case. And then you're saying that if we send it to them and they disagree with our choice, they are gonna send it back to us to get our recommendation moving forward. And again, history has not shown that that is gonna happen, so I don't know why you're so confident in this pathway.
Well, because it's a different board.
That's what I was thinking.
It's
We have
a huge different board who is,
Want to work with us.
more transparent, who understand our plight, I would think, if we disregard it, it's just, put it this way, it's like that race, right? They approve the race before we even. And if we would have rejected it, they would reject it, okay? They wouldn't take the race if we rejected it. So I think that being that it's on town property, but it's not town revenue, I would bet anything that they would follow our lead, or I hope they would follow our lead, because as the Parks Commission, we're not happy with it. we're not happy with the process, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm sure most will be. So I just think there's a risk in everything, okay?
Yeah.
But I just want a fair process.
I agree.
That's all.
My
And
only-
I don't think it's a fair process.
If with a rejection, they're gonna send it back to us, I just think it's more, what's the word? It's easier to just send it to them with the recommendation in the event they don't accept our rejection, then kick it to them and they kick it back to us and then we kick it back to them and then they approve it. If we
Right,
send it to them
yeah.
once with what we wanna do, assume it, I'm sorry.
Choice A, B, and C.
Yes.
Because I know this is wanted to be all set by the holidays, so.
It could be
on
by
all
Christmas.
places.
No reason it can't be.
Well, yeah,
Or
because
January 1st,
the select board doesn't meet again until December 4th.
4th and then 18th.
And sometimes the bids don't go out in a timely fashion. So that has happened in the past.
No, listen, regardless of when, I don't think another week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks is gonna make a difference because it's our livelihood. That's all. Just
And-
want a fair process. I
And
don't
if
think
we
it's a fair
lose
process.
money, is the town going to supplement us?
Nope, no,
Right.
no.
So if we do not get a reasonable fee, revenue out of this with this contract, and we are now in the hole, who's bailing us out?
Nobody's been.
Nobody
involved.
is. That's why it should be our decision.
We'll have to close clip on and we'll have to stop mowing the grass.
So that's
Definitely
the
go
importance
bonds,
of it.
Yeah, and
That's
this
the
is my
important.
point, you know, if they don't listen to us,
Well, their proposed budget, whether, I mean, because it didn't have the original room fee in it. We're going down in income. From what we've got down to 14%.
You're going down the 2%, yes.
But you're also going down monetarily, based on your numbers right here.
As far as the 14%, you're not, because they're increasing their functions their weddings by 50%.
But
The
why
price
should
of
we
their
be
weddings?
going down from our current 16%?
Right,
Nothing goes down.
no,
Everything's gone up.
yeah.
And we're gonna go down 2%?
Yeah. But an average of 15%, so down 1%. But yeah, I was surprised when it only came in at 14%. I thought that was low. And I mentioned that at our last
Who
meeting.
pays the utilities?
They pay 100% of all utilities.
The electric, the gas, the water, the
The
dumpster,
trash, yep.
the phone.
Yep.
Okay, now, here's another issue that was brought up to me today, is that, and it's just whoever has the conscience should put in there, is that there's fire violations, that should be handled by them, any inspection should be handled by them. air
Who has
conditioning-
fire violations?
Huh?
Who has fire violations?
To talk to the building department. No.
This is where I get fuzzy with you, Michael,
Okay.
because here you're saying all this stuff that you're
Okay,
just
so it's
bringing
gonna
up
be
now.
public.
And
There are things in there that need to be remedied, okay? There's
Updated.
curtains, there are curtains that are flammable. There are things in the ceiling that are flammable. There are a lot of flammable things going on.
But is
there.
that the town's fault or is
No,
that their fault?
it's their fault.
how is it their fault? We are in charge of maintenance.
We didn't put up the curtains.
Certain curtains
Well, no,
have
we
nothing to
would
do
not
with
put
it.
up
But what's in
curtains.
the-
Decorations have nothing to
Oh,
do with it.
decorations.
You can't have those up. And put it this way, if the heater or air conditioner goes off, that should be their responsibility, not ours. The building, the roof happens, or something collapses outside, or there's a danger, that's
that-
fine. But we're not paying 30 grand for a new heating and system or whatever. We shouldn't be responsible for that. Who's gonna pay for that? They should pay for it.
What's in the contract? What is the
That's my
contract?
point. It's not in the contract. We need to put that in there.
It's that we are responsible for maintenance.
But there's building there's,
But your air conditioning and your heat, I would think would be under building maintenance.
If they break it, they should be paying for it.
that's my point.
But because
if they
it's-
run it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it breaks, that's not our issue. It's like if the hood vent, okay? If that's not cleaned properly, or if it's not done properly, then it can burn or it can destroy the belt. That's their responsibility to maintain that, okay? Turn it off, turn it on. They could leave it off 24 hours and it breaks. We shouldn't be responsible for anything that has to do with the running of their business, okay? Roof, they can't do anything. The rugs are in bad shape. We shouldn't have anything to do with the rugs. That's a 35 grand.
No, I agree about the
But those
rugs.
are the things I'm talking about.
I agree about the rugs.
Aesthetics, or anything that has to do with them producing food and having parties, whoever, them, whatever, should be responsible for it, not us. Because who's gonna pay for it?
No, I agree. I just don't necessarily fully agree with you on the heater because they're on a contract basis. So normal wear and tear, like eventually it's going to get so old that it needs to be replaced. And it's not the duty of the current tenant to replace a system that has been there for a while. But like you said, if they're putting unreasonable or consistent wear and tear on it, then they're responsible for
But how
at
do
least
you-
partial
how do you know?
replacement.
I mean, put it this way. Here's the deal. You put in there that quarterly maintenance has to be done to it, okay?
Yeah.
Which is their responsibility. Now, if they're doing the records like your car oil changes and something eventually happens and they're maintaining it, that's a different story. But if they're not maintaining it, or they're not cleaning their filters, or we're doing whatever, then why should it fall on us? That's all.
And that's what's not in the contract.
That is, I did not see that.
And you don't think they have those records?
Who?
Whoever is leasing that building?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. I just know that we have to protect ourselves from saying, well, we need a new rug. I'm sorry. It's your aesthetic. You can have a wedding with an old rug, okay? If you want a new rug to bring in more people, do it. We're not replacing the rug. We shouldn't have to replace the rug.
They wanted us to replace the
I'm putting up
No.
Oh, okay.
Hypothetical.
no, I'm just putting up
Got
an
it.
example.
Got it.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's
no.
all. Anything interior decorating is them. We shouldn't have to change anything. I'm not talking about Boston Tavern now. Okay, I'm talking about anybody who would be in there.
And
Sure,
the
Boston
point-
Tavern's done a great job over there. Place looks good, but we have to protect ourselves from anything like that, because it's gonna fall on us.
Simply, the point is, it's not in the contract.
All those little things. Listen, it's easy to put it in. You could put it in whenever, okay? No one's gonna disagree about that they're responsible for maintaining the equipment there, or that they have to follow the fire laws. And they
That's in
have.
there.
Okay, like I said, I'm sure they are, sprinkler stuff, do we have that? Do we deal with that? I don't know, but it should be spelled out. Because what happens is we did this in the past, whatever. It's a contract. It's a legally binding contract that should say yes or no. No handshakes. We had a handshake on the last one about something. We have to get rid of handshakes and just put it on paper.
Yeah, handshakes.
I think, yeah. All right.
So circling back to this.
Yeah, let's move on because I think you're going off, well, not off topic, but
I
you're
agree.
grasping, I think, because history has shown that they have replaced what needs to be replaced. They replaced all their chairs. They didn't come to us and say, we need new chairs because they're worn out. And I don't believe they would come to us for a new rug at
Because the
this point
chairs
in
weren't
time.
worn out.
The chairs weren't worn out?
They're not worn out. Go into our side of the building, they're not worn out.
Yeah.
They just wanted a different.
They wanted
aesthetic.
different chairs.
Yeah, and they took care of it.
Well, they
Yeah.
have to. We don't provide chairs. It has nothing to do with the
Right,
building.
so
It's
see,
like getting
we
new
did
tables.
provide
and new
chairs.
tables.
We did provide
We
chairs.
did have,
But we don't have to.
Okay.
no,
This is
All
the
right.
most heated meeting we've ever had.
No, it isn't. But it's
So much
the
for a short
longest.
meeting.
I know.
so what are we gonna do?
That's my
We're
fault.
gonna
That's
accept
my
this
fault.
or reject
So
it?
we've heard from everybody else but you. What are your
From
thoughts
me?
on it?
I think it's just status quo. I don't think we're gonna make anything extra, and I think both of the, I think they'll be comparable, the 14% and with the room fee, the flat rate is a little bit better, but I mean, it's not life-changing. It's maybe like $25,000 over the course of the year, which I mean we could get something done, but we're not gonna redo everything with $25,000. I don't know. So I would be okay with this going either way. Did I wish there were more bids that came in other than one? Absolutely.
Okay. Does anyone want?
So what are we voting on, and can I
Whether
make
we
another
accept
motion?
it or whether we reject it.
Do you want to make the motion?
I make a motion that we reject the Loon Pond contract lodged by Boston Tavern and put it out to bid again.
I second.
Wait, guys, I gotta wait.
I'm sorry, what?
No, go ahead, you second. I'm waiting for Melissa.
Oh, Paula seconded. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Okay, can we reject it on that premise?
Sure. Of course you can.
That it's not in our best interest.
We reject it because it's not enough money for us, so we wanna get more money and we wanna put it out to bid.
Okay.
That's my premise. Okay, I reject the bid because I'm not happy with the money, and I wanna put it out to bid again to see if we can get more. And advertise it as such that we invite local people.
So because it's not in our best interest
What do you mean it's not?
to accept
To
this
accept
bid.
this currently.
Yes.
Well, you can't put all of that because you
I'm
don't think it's
sorry.
enough money and not enough people were invited and
I am rejecting the bid. I make a motion that we reject the bid from Boston Tavern because I don't think it's enough money for us. And I would like for it to be placed out for bid again. How it's done, we'll deal with it. But that's my motion.
And
I just think we're beating heads here.
I still second it.
Thank you, Paul.
I don't know if it's possible, but because we spoke about it earlier, I would like to amend it so that in the event the select board rejects our rejection, we recommend the fixed with room fee.
is there a second to Brenna's amendment?
I'm fine with it, second. I don't know if both can happen, but if it can, I'm fine with it. If it can't, then I want to stick with my original reject as is.
Which I agree. I want to
Okay.
reject it with recommendation
Okay.
rather than reject it with.
That might get rejected, but
Okay, any discussion on Brenna's motion to amend this rejection with a
Recommendation.
recommendation that if it is not rejected, that they take the room fee, the flat fee with the room fee? Does anybody understand that, or do I need to?
I know, I
Do it
don't know if
again.
that,
should we just reject
we
it?
just reject it?
Let's just
And when
reject
you
it,
tell
and
us
then deal with the other
well,
stuff when
I
we
know,
deal with it.
I
We
think-
could all just go to the meeting.
I don't think the amendment has to do with.
We're not doing that, the amendment and.
All right,
It's
so
just motion.
withdrawing
That's all,
the,
that's all.
She's withdrawing.
I understand what you want to do,
Yeah.
yeah,
but I don't
Let's
think
back
that
up.
amendment goes with that
Yeah.
motion.
I think it would be easier to just show up. And then when they want to discuss it, we can discuss it.
okay, so back to the original, motion to reject the Loon Pond contract because it's not enough money and we would like it to go back out to bid.
Mhm.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, Scott? Oh, I'll come back to you. Michael,
Thank
Aye.
Paula,
Aye.
Brenna,
Hi.
Scott.
Aye.
I'm gonna vote no.
Yeah, why don't you abstain?
I don't wanna abstain.
Abstain's a no vote.
I have no reason to abstain. It's just a cop-out. Okay, so the motion passes, that we will recommend to the select board that they reject Loon Pond Lodge, Boston Tavern's bid for Loon Pond Lodge because it's not enough money and it wasn't,
We were not bringing that up.
what?
We're not bringing up that it wasn't done properly. We're just rejecting the bid and we want it to go out to bid again.
I don't love that wording.
What?
It's not enough money.
It's not enough money. It's the
It's
terms
not
are,
in
the
our
terms
best
are,
interest.
the terms are unacceptable to our interests.
It's not in our, so it's not in our best
To our
interest.
benefit, it's not,
Yeah, it's
not
not.
acceptable.
So,
Okay, so we put that aside. Can't wait to see how that plays out. Okay, number 6.
we're going to the meeting. Brennan.
Well, if they will do a joint meeting, it won't be an issue. We can all go.
That
If,
would be nice.
I
if
agree
they
with
will
that.
not do a joint meeting, then only 2 of us can go.
Oh, you should go. You're the chair.
Oh, I'll be right next to her. don't worry.
Okay, that's fine. I'll moral support from the
We'll,
crowd.
we'll go out to dinner before and discuss our strategy.
Okay.
We're going
Moving
Does
on.
anybody need a break? It's 8:05.
No, I'm hot.
Number 6, capital project playground. All right, so last meeting we discussed doing the, see, playground finances. Last meeting we discussed doing the split, the paver walkway for the playground to playground walkway. And then the concrete walkway from the driveway to the playground for $12,244. That is within our budget. So we would not have to go back to the select board and ask for more money, and it would
Where's
leave us $2,000.
If you turn to page 7, it's in the minutes for the last meeting.
Oh, okay, it's in the minutes, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So that would leave us $2,000 for the sign. So the only unknown at this point is if we have to pay for the sign or pay to install the sign or whatever the sign needs.
All right, so we're just talking now about the sign.
No,
We're
right
talking
now,
about the walkway.
the walkway. Because last time, right, was the minutes. Financial handicap table, new swings will cost about 35, leaving 14. Let's do the walkway. Using concrete for the walkway from the parking lot to the playground will reduce the cost to $12,240. The commission will vote on which option at the next meeting. So we can do that, or we can do the paver walkways on both ends, in which case we'll have to go back and ask for more money.
So it's concrete from walkway to playground, and then from
Yeah, the parking area, so the driveway, so it would be concrete from the crosswalk to
Okay.
the playground.
okay,
And then from the old playground going to the new playground, that would be pavers. So everything inside of the playground would be all pavers,
Pavers.
but the walkway to get to the playground would be concrete.
I like that.
So
And
what's
it's-
the,
yes.
what's the difference besides aesthetics to you? Concrete and the pavers?
Money.
the money?
No, if money had nothing to do with it and you can have either one,
I'm okay with either one.
you okay?
It serves the purpose of getting from point A to point B.
Safely.
Yeah, it
Okay, so it's not an
It's-
issue that way.
fits the disabilities,
Okay.
it's fine. And I don't think, like, the grass is gonna be on the side, so it's not, and they assure me that it will last. So that's my biggest thing, like, is it gonna last 10 years, is it gonna last 20 years, and it's gonna, but they put rebar in, they do other stuff that they put in, he makes it a stronger thing, so he absolutely, and the guys local comes highly recommended. If there's any problems, you just call them up and be like, hey,
So, there's 17,833 left.
yes,
So if we do the concrete, that knocks it down to what, 1,200?
well, we have,
It was 12.
$3,500 for a handicapped accessible table, 2 new swing seats, and 2 playground rules signs for $3,500. That leaves $14,333.62. $12,244 is for the both walkways, so that leaves you about $2,111 left.
Oh, the 12 is for both,
The 12 is for
for
both,
the pavers inside and the cement.
and the
outside.
concrete on the outside
And it leaves us 2,000?
to take care
Yeah,
of the signs.
I wouldn't go back for them for
Right,
ARPA.
so I just
I would
wanna,
just use the money that we have.
yeah, so I just wanna recommend that, do we go this way to the select board to make sure they're not, oh, we want pavers on all of it?
Yeah.
Before I say, yes, let's get that done.
Do you have to?
You think
Go
we
to
should
them?
just get that done?
We
Well,
don't have to go to them.
I don't think we have to go to them, but
If we
I
want
mean,
more money, we do.
it's a courtesy, right? And it's, I
Well,
think
I
that we
mean-
could just
I
be
mean,
like,
if
this
you
is
wanted-
what we wanna do.
If you wanted to give them the option and say, we can get cement and pavers for 12
Right,
and be within the budget, or if we get pavers instead
all
of the
of it.
cement, it's gonna mean you gotta come up with another $2,500.
right,
And
Okay,
then we'll
but
have
how
nothing
many,
left for the sign.
right.
how many times,
My question to the sign,
go ahead.
excuse
I'm
me.
sorry, no.
No,
My
no.
fault.
My
I
question
can't
for,
answer your sign question,
you
but go
can't,
ahead.
okay, all right.
I know what it's gonna be, and
It's not when, I've given up on that.
yeah, that's
I wanna hear.
I've been.
when, what, where, all.
He's been dealing with that.
My question is, how much? Because initially that was gonna get taken care of
Yeah,
also.
I
Want a sign
believe that
like
it
this?
still is.
No, it wasn't,
No.
no, it was, it's got deleted
No, I
off my phone.
understand.
It was more of a, not concrete, but like marble,
Okay.
you know, I mean, something that was gonna last. The term that Timmy used with me was, you and I are never gonna worry about fixing this thing.
Right.
You know, it was built to last.
Right, and I believe that is still absolutely the plan.
How many times have we gone to the well,
What well?
the select board for more money? Just once?
For what?
So we did the initial, we got approved for your initial plan.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's it. We haven't been back for that.
So we didn't have to ask for anything else.
No.
We never did, because I remember Ari saying,
No,
well,
'cause-
we didn't ask for enough.
Cause that was the question, was if we went with, and that's what we talked about back when we did our little site visit, was that if we went with the pavers, that we were gonna go over. And my comment at the time was, I think it would look great, all pavers. But if it means we're gonna go over budget, how are the selectmen gonna, you know, they might just say, well, get the job done and just do the cement and
Yeah.
pave it and.
I would,
Right.
I like to leave it,
I'm just,
I like to leave it out of their hands.
I would like.
I would say do the concrete and we move some money over and just get it done without getting anyone involved. Oh, let's do this, let's do that. Make the
Right.
decision and go.
Right, and I would like to make that decision, but I just would like to run it by them. I don't want them to show up one day and have a concrete walkway out there
no,
and
right,
everybody say,
you can tell them, yeah,
No.
we're gonna stay within your budget and we're gonna do cement, pavers.
right,
Or if you want to go over and give us more money,
right.
then it would be
If they
pavers
give
all
us
the
more
way.
money, fine, but I just,
No, I know, I
But
understand.
just like we had this conversation about history and them not coming to us, like throwing it back to us.
Yeah.
I want to work that same way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to perpetuate the relationship we've had with all these other departments and stuff. I want to make it better. So if I can do that by saying to them, this is what we thought, we want to stay in your budget, this is what we thought.
This is what we can do.
Yeah, and if you would like to give us $20,000 more to do an 80-foot by 6-foot paver walkway, we'd be happy to have that as well.
I'm just for getting it done. If they want to pay for it, great. If they don't, we'll take care of it.
If we have a joint session with them, can we vote?
If you have a joint session with them, yeah.
So we should have a joint session about the contract with them, and then we can also bring this up and vote on it there.
Why
Well-
can't we just decide what we want?
Because if
It
we
means
decide on the
going back.
pavers, we can't do it. If we decide on the concrete, we can do it. That's the issue.
And.
But I think what
is-
Melissa wants to do is she wants to, you know, keep the channels open.
Yeah.
And it's a great
Yeah.
idea. It's super. But they gotta understand that if they want the pavers, then it's gonna cost more money. That's all.
It'll have to go to ARPA again.
Yeah.
But it isn't what they want, it's what we want.
No.
Right,
Well,
but-
ideally, I think this whole group would love to see pavers. It would be beautiful. Pavers all the way.
I agree.
I don't have a problem with the concrete and the pavers.
But if they're
Okay.
willing to pay for the pavers, we should at least give them the option to say that before we start pouring the concrete.
You're dreaming.
I know that, Paula, but it's nice to ask.
Okay, but if we go to them again, we're gonna have to do the bidding.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I don't want, do you want to go to that?
You're not, because it's it's over 10,000, so, but it's under 50, so I've got 5 bids, like, that they've already gotten.
So it's not a matter of getting bids, it's just paying for them?
Why,
Yeah,
why
pay for
would,
the
so
thing.
I'm sorry. Why wouldn't we have to get bids on it if it was,
She got bids.
no, did you, so, for the 26 grand, already got the bids?
Yeah, I got 5 estimates.
Oh, good. You're excused.
Thank you.
So what do you want us to vote on?
I want a motion to recommend that we do a cement walkway, concrete walkway from the crosswalk to the playground entrance, and then a paver walkway to keep with the aesthetics already on the playground, from pavers to pavers, from playground to playground.
I make the motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
Yes.
Talked out.
If, I'm sorry, if we make this motion, then can it change later on?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
We
okay.
can amend we can change our motion, we can change our
Yeah, once we
decision.
know the answer.
If we get more prevalent information, like they'd pay for it.
Okay. All right. No discussion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All aye. Thank you, everybody,
That was
because
easy.
it's, I know, that was quick. See, we're having a quick meeting.
Yeah, but
It's
the
just-
next, yeah.
I feel like we're in limbo. It's with the playground. It's all because the sign, we're waiting on the sign. I'm waiting for these walkways and it's just like,
I know,
I
you
feel
wanna
like
get
I'm
done.
stuck.
Well, the feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Oops, sorry.
So why aren't we asking for more money for the sign?
Well, because
it
we
done.
have $2,000 left for the sign. The sign's already in works. Mr. Delarocco is working with a sign
Okay.
person on this, and I was supposed to meet them like a month and a half ago at
But
the,
nothing's happened.
and it just hasn't
Okay.
come to fruition, and now it's the holidays, so I should have brought more candy canes, is all I'm saying.
Is there anything else we need down there?
The signs,
I know that, but since we're possibly going to get more ARPA, it's gonna be our last time, just like
Yeah.
it is with this one. Is there anything else you can think that we could
I
need?
can't think of anything else.
Okay,
Nothing on the
Can anybody
playground?
else think of anything else for the playground? Like, I can think of a whole 2 to 5 play area. I can think of like, but there's other things in town, other playgrounds in town that need more work than added an extra piece to this playground. I think. Okay. I'll step off my soapbox.
How about a
and-
Ferris wheel?
A Ferris wheel?
I'm kidding.
I want to bring some stuff up under new news. or
Well,
whatever.
nope, we have,
We're not there yet.
capital projects. I believe Mike's next, but I've lost my agenda again.
It doesn't fall under playgrounds.
Capital projects, Northfield, number 7.
okay. Labor of love.
What is
It's
this?
been hours,
Northfield.
hours and hours on telephone this week. Scott and I met with Frank, Clancy, and John from Southeast Fence.
Who?
John
Southeast
Malidi.
Fence.
Oh, okay.
So, before we get to that, we had an issue. We were all ready to go, and then it was brought to our attention that when the paperwork was found from the Heritage back in 2010, it was an approval that these fields could be done, okay? And what
And
they
parking lot.
And in parking lot, and what they can be used for. Stipulations were, couldn't build a building, and you couldn't do anything to affect the groundwater or any of the brush or and anything that's in that protected area.
The 10 acres closer
10,
to the,
right,
to the,
but-
to the water,
So
the pit.
what happened is that the ball was dropped. The blame, I'm gonna blame the town. Because it's in the agreement that every 4 years, we were to get an engineer to go through there and say, listen, nothing's changed, everything is good. If you want a turtle sweep with it, whatever, okay? It hasn't been done in 14 years, okay? So no one's done that. So now there are alarm bells out. Because now we have to go back to them, beg for forgiveness, and say, this is what we want to do, okay? We also found out, I just want to make a shout out to Nate Darling, who's been attached to me, who really shouldn't be involved in this at all. But he's helped, because he's been around for how many years, okay? So he's really helped us because he understands, there was a permit guy who did it in 2010 who's still around. So he knows a lot of what's going on. We're also given instructions in there that we had to fix an acre part of the property, okay?
You have to what?
We were supposed to fix an acre part of the property where the heritage is, okay? We've only done a half acre of the improvements. We still have to do another half acre. So this is all in the paperwork, so that's where we are. So we've been talking, I talked to Ari and everything, and said, well, we gotta get this permit guy back in, and we gotta get the engineer back in. And I kinda lost it because it's last minute. So, but The good news is that, when we had the meeting with Clancy, the real issue is the drainage part of it, okay? If you look at your, please look at the
Page 11.
schematic,
Yeah.
it's page 12. You can do 11, it doesn't really matter. The first two, is it 10, 11, or whatever it is what was approved? I don't know what pages
11 and 12.
are the ones that were approved. The one that's got, the one that has the signage on it was done by our engineer back in July, okay?
That's 12.
So if you look,
Yeah.
if you look down here, okay, so this is when you drive in off Bedford Street. This is the upper lot. You drive down, this is the lower lot. Now, if you go down by the lower lot, you see a swirl that goes in over here. That's the protected area, okay? So the idea is when we grade this, there's gonna be swells, but there's gotta be a drain, because it's gonna be pitched like anything else, so there's no puddles. And that drain is going to go into that area that's kind of protected there, okay? But what we can do without waiting, 99% sure, I talked to Nate, we're gonna get the answer on Monday, is just grade it and not put in the drainage, because Clancy says he can wait to put in the drainage till the spring. It's gonna take a month to do this, okay? And we're talking, who knows what the weather's like.
If he doesn't start soon, he's gonna run into frost and,
And then we're gonna have to
Snow.
extend this thing, it's gonna be horrible. But if he can start within a week, which I think he's gonna do, because we're allowed to do maintenance on these two things. It's just like mowing the grass in the soccer field. We have to maintain it. Where the parking lot is, we're allowed to maintain it, okay? To maintain it so that it's useful. So by grading it, we're just maintaining it. By putting in a drain right now without permission, we're gonna get into problems. So we're gonna be able to have him start when he's supposed to start, get all of the grading done, and then do the drainage after we settle with the heritage, which I'm thinking in 4 months that'll be done. Okay, I was hoping it'd be done earlier. So that's the good news. What'll happen then is the fencing will go in. What's probably gonna happen, because it's late, is we're gonna leave the poles there to protect the fields, right down there. Have you been down there?
Yes.
Okay. So by the fields, there's telephone poles that are protecting machines going out on the grass, okay? Those have to leave once we have a fence, because they have electric wires and creosote, they're dangerous, okay? But Milady won't have time. If he works 3 weeks, 2 weeks, it's gonna be tough to put in fence posts and everything in the middle of December. And I'd probably rather have it done in the spring anyway. So what'll happen in the spring is that the rocks will be moved, the poles will be moved, and the grading will be done the way we want it in a little area where I'll show you, and then the fence can go up, okay? And then the signs can go up. So there's no reason it shouldn't be done by March 1st or middle of March. Okay, so that's the status of where we are. And once I get the 100% approval on Monday, I'll send you guys out an email. So let's go to the next step. As Melissa knows, we got one shot to do this thing correctly. We can't go back to get money, okay? So we gotta approve 2 things tonight. One is we did bidding on three contractors for fence. We got a bid for 29, a bid for 28, and a bid for 23,190. The 23,190 is done by Southeast Fence. They won the bid. But they can't sign the contract because we don't have the money yet. We have to vote on that money to get it from ARPA so that they'll get paid.
Are you saying 23?
190, 23,190, which was
190.
$8,000 less than anyone else. So,
Wow.
which was within the number that we had estimated.
yep. So we have to let them know we need 23,190 for the fence and then they'll go into ARPA. But at the same time, there are things otherwise we need down there. Now, if you look on your sheet, the one with the signs on it. thank you,
Actually,
Peter.
11's a better picture.
What?
11, page 11 is the best picture. I know the other
12,
ones.
no,
get-
12 has the signs on it. Look at 12. See 12 with the signs on it?
The yield and
I know,
the
but that's not
stock.
where we're gonna put,
I think we're discussing the signs.
So, we're just discussing the signs. I'm putting them where, if, I'm just putting them on the map, so we can change that. We're not voting on the signs, we're not voting where they're going, we're not voting on the bids. That'll be done in the spring when we do it. All I have done is gotten estimates on how much these signs are gonna cost us. Okay, so I went to Crutchfield, and he did this nicely. I told him, this is not a bid, we're not gonna do anything, I just want an estimate on all the signs we want, including, this kind of a sign, but it won't exactly be that, okay? Because what we need for this project is, there's a lot of traffic coming out on Bedford Street. You know how nuts it is, across from
Yeah,
there. So, we're gonna need 2 stop signs, okay? Because traffic's gonna be going through there, okay? And when you go there, you have to peek out. You gotta kind of move out a bit because you got branches and trees there, okay? But either way, people gotta stop and look both ways. So, we need to put stop signs up there. okay?
so you're gonna put one stop sign and then like 10 feet up front, you're gonna do another stop sign?
Well, put it this way, we're gonna use 2 stop signs, we're gonna decide where they're gonna go. But we're gonna need 2 stop signs. We're gonna need a yield sign or go slow,
why 2 stop signs? You lost me.
huh?
You lost me on 2 stop signs.
I thought we talked about a stop sign when people are leaving.
Right,
This
at the
area-
entrance to Route 18.
Yes, but I thought when people are leaving, when they're leaving this whole area, that we would want them, because we're gonna have 2 traffic flows going in here.
Yeah, in and out on the same road.
In and
Yep.
out on the same road. So are we gonna go slow, or are we gonna just have them stop and then go? Do we need 2
You mean
stop
at
signs?
the bottom of
At
the
the
tar?
bottom here,
Where
What-
Clancy's gonna finish the tar driveway?
yes.
Oh, a stop sign at the bottom of the,
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's all I'm
Okay, I
doing.
thought you would, and
No,
I think
no, no.
Melissa was confused too, because
Yeah.
I
the
was
way
thinking
you-
the
the way-
X's on
the way you were
thing.
saying it, I was interpreting that you wanted 2 stop signs at the
End.
Route 18 entrance.
Right, one, and then so they
Right.
scooch up at another one.
So
It's
you're gonna
where I
have,
put a mark, but I was doing this so fast.
Okay.
So we need 2 stop signs, we need, 2 yield signs, one facing one way, one facing the other way. So when people are coming in and they're gonna take that corner, we're gonna tell people to slow down.
Okay.
And that's speeding down that way. And then the people coming up, we want them to slow down. So it's gonna say go slow or yield. I'm not yield, I don't
Not
even yield.
yield.
We-
Slow, go
Go
Slow.
slow or whatever.
Slow,
Because,
children at play.
because it could,
With a speed bump.
yeah.
Uh,
Good news.
question on the stop sign.
Sure.
If you put up a stop sign, they have stop signs that light up, that are,
Funky ones.
Yeah, that's the newest thing.
yeah, and,
I like
and
Listen,
Red
We-
lights go
That's
off
fine.
around it.
I think
And they're
because you're
solar.
going on to Route 18,
now the thing is, we can't put any traffic signs on Route 18.
right, but
That's a
because
state
you're
road, we
going,
gotta push it back.
right, but because you're going out onto routine, oh, yeah, right, on Route 18, it would seem safer to put a stop sign that lights up.
I put
Okay.
them in both spots. It all depends on the
Yes,
cost.
so, obviously I didn't even think about it.
At least
and
on
that's a great
Route
point.
18, but
But here's
But
the
the other
issue
way,
too.
you're going into the parking lot where all kids are.
Um,
you need
before-
another one?
That's what he's talking about.
So, before I get to handicap signs, we're also gonna need a sign, it's gonna be one of those open from dawn to dusk, because we have a gate there. So we're gonna have to lock it up.
Mhm.
I mean, the signs we're gonna need is dawn to dusk. We're gonna need the dog poop signs. We're gonna need the no alcohol signs down there, okay? Probably 2 of each, because we have 2 fields, right? We have them around here, we're gonna need them down there.
Yep.
No alcohol, no dogs on there. So that's gotta go down there. We are scheduled here, we're gonna need 8 handicap signs, of which
8?
Two
of
have
them are
gotta
gonna
be
be
van,
van accessible.
so they've gotta be
Okay,
open.
so we gotta have the regular ones and we gotta have a van accessible one, okay, on both sides. So the way it's gonna work, I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna explain to you how it's gonna go.
That's all right, we just need a price for right
You
now,
just need
right?
prices, okay? But
Yeah.
either way, so what we're gonna need to do, so these signs I got are gonna be aluminum and reflective vinyl. All the handicap will have reflective vinyl. We're gonna need a sign like, it's not this, okay? But it's gonna be a sign that we can put out on the road or past where the stop signs are, so when people are driving, they're gonna know where these fields are, or they're gonna drive right by it, right? So whatever we name it, we can name it another time. If you wanna name it after Scott or me, you can do that. But
Please don't.
But we need to build a sign, a double-sided sign that's gonna say Northfield to Ted Williams, whatever. We can put anything we want on it. There's not a lot of room, but we can figure that out. But we're gonna need a sign like that. Go ahead.
Since you're coming out onto Route 18, are you going to have a clearing so some of those trees are taken out?
Yep.
So
So-
people have better visual?
So
Working
what's,
on that.
yes, so what's gonna happen is Frank will clear branches, but I also put money in for tree service in case anything needs to go down that they can't do.
Okay.
Because if you look up, it kind of goes like this, and then you got blockage here, and that's on both sides.
Both sides.
Right,
So,
it has to be cleared.
well, a lot of it we can do on branches, but if it's a dead tree or something that needs to come down
Yeah.
and they can't do it, then I'm putting money in for that. So, the money that we are going, that I'm asking for, the signs estimate, and that doesn't include, no, it doesn't include your lit sign, or it doesn't include the poop sign, so we're gonna need about $7,500 for signs to do it the right way.
And that's not including a lit sign, a lighted stop sign.
Well, I just added money to it.
Oh,
The,
to cover
the
that.
figure was 55, now I'm adding money for things that, if we wanna upgrade it. It doesn't have to be perfect, this
Right.
isn't a bid, this is just a high estimate that he gave me. I mean, he went through this whole thing, did all the measurements and everything. So, we're gonna need those signs, we're gonna need all those little signs, so we're gonna be up around to $7,000 for signs. We're gonna put in, I don't know, maybe Melissa knows better than me, but I was gonna put in 3,500 to do clearing for the Route 18. We're not exactly chopping down huge trees, it could be just branches, we can put in more, I just don't know the amount. And then, hold on. So signs, that. Now, here's my other thing. Should
Were we on that? Cause I have a couple things that I
No, please,
wanted to throw out there.
whatever you want.
Lights for the sign, is the sign going to have lights? Because I mean, you just spent $100 on lights for here, so
Yes, we will be putting, there's no electric to put that, we're gonna have to put solar like that again.
okay. So is that in there?
Is that for the big sign you're talking about?
Like
that
I just did
names-
here,
That names the
Yeah.
field? Okay.
so we'll add $100.
Tree removal, you had that in there. The removal of the poles, the old telephone poles,
That's
is
done,
that
that's in
in
our-
on the contract?
That's in on Clancy's
Okay,
contract.
any picnic tables for the middle
Okay.
area?
So here's.
I know that you want the soccer to pay for bleachers, but I mean,
Okay,
bleachers.
that's what I was just about to bring up.
anything for, that we need to hook up the bathroom,
We can't hook up water.
ever?
It would cost, we'd have to rip up the field. We can't do that. The water we have, okay, is not potable. Okay, it's not potable. It's only used for irrigation. You can't use it to wash hands. You can't use it for anything.
You could flush the toilet.
You can flush the toilet, but you can't use it to wash hands.
Okay.
Can't. That's why, ooh, That's why we should get those portable washing stations.
I was waiting for you to finish.
So we can put in there to get portable washing stations. And I have the price for that.
Yeah, they were anywhere from 200 to
Right.
1,000.
So that would be easy. This,
No, to buy.
no, to buy.
But we have to, who fills them up?
That has to be done by the company that empties your tanks, because they're certified, they come,
With clean
portable
water.
they
water.
come with certified potable water. I mean, yeah, we could do it, yep, take it down, fill the hose, but it's not potable.
Well, we can lease them for 150, which would include the water, a month.
Yeah, and I mean,
Which
you
I
know,
think is better in case it breaks down.
Is that just a porta potty with a wash?
no, what it
No,
is,
it's
it's
just
an
a
actual,
wash
it's a wash station that
Just
comes
a sink.
outside, and it's outside.
It's just a sink.
It's just, it's like, you could get it with a 1 sink, a 2 sink, a 4 sink.
Yeah.
And what
You-
is the purpose of it?
To wash your hands
hands.
after
You can wash
going to
the
the
hands.
porta potty, or to the thing that we're gonna have down there.
Got it.
Because there's no
Okay.
running water for it.
I didn't know there was a thing. I just
Yeah, yeah,
just
no,
thought
you know
were
the
talking
mobile
about a
unit.
sink.
The unit that's right behind the office,
Yeah.
that's the unit that was down at John Pond. We got it up here,
Okay. All
finally.
right.
So
So-
so I think we should put that in there.
So the unit behind the office, not to go off on a tangent, is not going down there because there's no water?
No, it is going down there because we will have water to wash hands.
But
But you said that it couldn't be hooked up to water because you have to rip up the fields.
No, you don't
No,
have
no,
to-
no. Clean water, we can't hook up. We can use that to flush toilets, but we can't use it to wash hands.
Right.
That's why we're getting the washing.
Okay, but we can hook that up to water to flush toilets.
Right.
Yes.
Which
And
the line
electricity
would have to
that's
come between the
dedicated.
two
Yeah, there has to
fields.
be a line in
There's
there,
a,
but
there's
the line
a,
is
there's
there.
a spot between the
Okay.
two fields.
And do we have money for that?
We're going to.
Yes. I'll let you finish now.
is this
Okay.
part of opera?
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And so here's the question. We got 2 sets of bleachers that are gonna need, now, no parents are allowed to be on the field or go over the fence. Okay, that's just gonna be players and coaches. There's a dip there. We don't want them near kids. We don't want them jumping up. Soccer,
Soccer doesn't want them on the
Nobody
same side
wants
as them anyhow.
I don't care if it's
No,
field
I think
hockey.
that's a good idea.
The parents are always supposed to be on the opposite side of the players and coaches.
So what's gonna happen is, we're gonna have the fence, and we're gonna put the bleachers behind the fence, okay? The bleachers are gonna be placed closest to this area where the picnic tables, the porta potty, and because that's gonna be a handicap accessible area, which is gonna be graded so that you can move around. So put it this way, 95% of the people who do get a wheelchair will be able to watch it from that area because they can see both fields. So they're not gonna have to roll around to go to the bleachers, but the bleachers will be near there.
Okay. Where? I'm sorry, that terminology. Where are the picnic tables and the bleachers going?
Okay, so, yeah, let me show you.
I'm hoping it's right here with a
I'm
thing.
confused.
Right here. It's 100 by 100. This is where the picnic tables, so the handicap spots are gonna be right next to that area where they'll be able to see.
Okay.
And they'll have access.
So like right here.
Yes.
It doesn't show it on this one, but
Yes.
if you look at this, okay, if you're coming in from the road, this is the parking lot. There's a field here, it goes like that, which is parallel to Route 18. And the other field is over here.
So on
Okay.
this map, it's like right there.
And
So-
so where's the handicap?
Right, but you're drawing it in the parking lot where the
So
handicap
we're gonna
spaces
put-
are.
No.
I,
Well, see, it's
originally we were
hard.
gonna grass it and make it look nice.
Put it this way.
We're gonna put
Say
a
this
block
is
here,
100
100
by
by 100.
100. All right,
Okay.
that's what I
Fence
thought.
out,
Then the
fence out.
parking spots,
So
parking
these are actually
spots,
gonna be on the
then the
outside of
bleachers,
the fence.
and the
And the bleachers
bleachers.
are gonna be right here.
And so if you're
and right
handicapped,
here.
you come in. If you
You
wanna
know,
go
they're gonna
here,
be as close
it's
to this area.
10 feet
because
away.
where
It's
these
gonna be
handicap
graded
signs are is where the
perfectly,
porta
so
johns
you
are gonna
can
be
do it.
inside of the fence to protect.
Or if you
them.
wanna go to the bleachers,
So
you're gonna be over
the
2
handicap
spots,
spaces are actually over
which
here.
is gonna be
They'll
graded
be
so they can
just
sit
outside,
there.
so
So
what
they
you
don't
could
have to
have this
go
100
more
by
than
100. So the handicap
30
spots will be like right here
Got it.
or right here, either way, wherever,
Okay.
wherever Nate says to put them.
All right.
So here's my
Just for
question
those.
to the board is, do we want to ask people to pay for it? Because as you said, I mean, could we get soccer to pay for picnic tables? I'm sure we can. Can we pay for pizza? I'm sure we can. But it's their money and they're investing in it. So do we want one league to do that, being that it could be open for other leagues, correct? But if, it'll almost give us the thing to say, well, you know, they paid for crap here. Is it better for us just to buy it and not worry about it?
Do we owe them?
They've been the only one to invest money in those fields currently.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, should we be beholden to anyone?
Yeah.
Should we just buy it ourselves? We have the money for it.
Are we able to do one of those donation bench things or donation tables?
No, we have the money, let's just get it.
We have the money.
Well,
ARPA?
we're
If we
gonna
go to
ask for it to
ARPA, we'll get it.
ARPA.
Oh, then that's what we should do.
So,
Okay.
we would need 2 bleachers, and we would need
How big?
4 picnic tables? What do you think would fit in there?
4 would be a good start.
I would say 4 picnic tables, 2 sets of bleachers. You think they have to be double on both sides? Probably, right?
The bleachers, one big set of bleachers like the ones down at John Pond, they're gonna cost you $1,000 a piece,
Okay,
between $750 and $1,000.
so we'll count it 1,000, maybe more.
And you
Maybe
wanted
more.
how many? Just
Hmm?
2?
Well, I mean, that's all you have. Most people come with their own chair.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, we provide one
Well,
set of
well-
bleachers that's
Yeah.
more than adequate.
Well,
we'll need one for each.
There's no bleachers over at the soccer fields now.
Yeah, they've been
Right,
sitting on the
but
grass.
if they see the bleachers, they won't have to
Correct.
bring the chairs.
Correct. Like down at John Pond.
Yeah,
People know there's bleachers there, they don't necessarily bring a chair.
so should we have more than 2?
No, like he said.
No,
they
you
like
get
to
one
bring-
big one like the ones down at John Pond,
Yeah,
which will seat 25 or 30 people.
okay.
Because,
They're $1,000 a piece, so you just start with 2 and see how much. See
You know?
how it
Well,
goes.
And if
If we're-
people want more, they can
If
buy
we're
them.
using ARPA money, we maybe should be planning for the future so that we start out with
Yes.
2 and we really need 4.
But where are we gonna store them?
we're
Oh,
not,
do
they're
you
gonna
take
stay
them
right
in
there.
the
They're
winter?
gonna stay right
Aren't
there.
they aluminum?
Yeah,
and
but do we wanna use, I just think we should get two big ones, because when I ever went to soccer, they're not comfortable. They're just not.
I know,
They're not
But-
comfortable.
but you leave them there, they're permanent, they're aluminum, right?
Yeah.
My,
And,
yeah, I'm sorry.
and if, people see them, they're going to be using them, so,
It's your call.
My
You guys
argument-
wanna do it, I'm for anything you want down there.
I'm against getting 4 only because this is 2 fields. Like we have 6 fields over here. So the people who play on the 6 fields are going to go to the 2 fields and say, why do they have 4 bleachers and we have none? It's just going to cause another issue.
I think one on each field is
How's that?
more than enough,
Adequate, okay.
because nobody uses
Yes,
them.
All right.
so we'll do 2,
2,
we'll do 4 picnic tables. We'll have the mobile unit down there, so we don't have to rent any porta potties.
right,
We'll need a dumpster down there,
Small dumpster, yeah.
small dumpster. Now, where would, you know what? Come the spring, we can put
Figure
stuff
out
where we
what's what.
want, we can vote on what we want. Right now, we just wanna approve the money.
the other thing I wanted to raise, because there's always a problem with keys and unlocking things, can we make this electronic like a lot of parks are doing, where they go to their phone and they can unlock the gate?
Well, it's just gonna cost more to buy the lock, that's all.
Is this part of our money that we can get this done?
I have no idea.
Because if it is, that's the way to
I mean, I was
go.
gonna-
That
I-
way
I-
you don't get into
Our-
the
our
speed
can't
I was
be
able to
used
get a
for-
combination lock. Not a combination lock, but yes, a combination
What are
lock.
the pushy ones.
ARPA can't be used for little stuff like that. It can't be
Okay.
used for
All right, no, I
ground
didn't know
light
if it
stuff
was
like that.
part of the fencing where.
It can be used
we-
for fencing, it can be used for
Infrastructure.
benches, it can be used for anything like that, but it can't be used for,
Doesn't the fence come with a lock?
The gate
No.
that's out there now, is that the gate that we're keeping?
yes.
So it has a lock now.
Maybe.
Well, we have to, what do you think,
No,
maybe?
John doesn't like that fence because it's
They can
been
go around
proven, been proven to be,
Well, you can open it up without a lock. You don't need the key to open it up.
it's locked.
You don't need a key to, I'll go up right now and I'll open it up without a key.
Well,
Yeah,
then
no,
someone
wait,
didn't
hold,
lock it
that'll be
properly.
a-
No, it's not. John showed me how to do it. He
All right.
locked it. I opened it up. He showed me how to open it up.
We
You
should
locked your
talk about
chains?
this.
A new gate is, has to go in there too?
No.
should we have a wider gate because it's, no,
Well, put it this way, we're
So
not,
the one that's there is staying.
this needs to get to the December 4th meeting because Milidi's gonna need to get that contract by December 4th. So we can't wait on this.
Right.
Because our next meeting won't be till after
so
that.
tell me, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna take the gate out? You're gonna change it? You're gonna leave it and have
I
the
think for
same
now,
lock?
let's just leave it and then deal with what you gotta leave with. Or unless we wanna change it, I don't have time to figure out the price.
No, but should you ask John, since he's doing the fencing, whether we need to
You
change
wanna put extra
that?
money in for it and we don't.
No,
spend it,
but
we don't
I'm
spend it?
okay with that fence that was there, but one of you, I don't remember which one, sorry, said that John didn't like us having that gate. So if he wants to replace the gate, then we need money for him to replace the gate.
Yeah, I mean, we want it to go the safest, strongest way, so if he's recommending a different gate,
Yes, it's fine. It's all set.
okay. Taken care of.
Okay. All right, so bottom line is there anything left from what you had originally?
No, it was used up
All gone? Exactly
gone.
down
Because
to
of
the
the
penny?
engineering.
because of the engineering. We had
That
extra.
wasn't
but
in the
then we
budget.
took that.
Right.
So we're going just a empty.
Flat
tank,
out.
Flat out.
Is this the engineering?
Yeah.
This is the engineer that we paid for.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, let's go over this again. We got signs, right?
Yeah,
We got trees. We got benches. We got picnic tables and washing stations. What else did we discuss?
Now, is Ryan going down to cut the grass, or is the
He
does now.
DPW coming in
No,
to
he
cut
does
the
now.
grass?
That's
He does
Ryan.
now.
Ryan does it now.
Ryan does it now?
Yep.
So, when he goes down to cut the grass, can he bring the trash back with him, or we need the dumpster down there?
with the
Well, we're gonna
dumpster.
need the dumpster, but we're also gonna need the small cans like we have
The trash
at Williams.
cans.
Because people aren't gonna go all over the dumpster.
No, they're not.
So he can empty those, the dumpster company will empty the dumpster. Okay, here's the other big question, and I still don't understand what you
Question?
meant. I'm sorry, please.
The porta pots, who's gonna be taking care of those? You know how
Mhm.
we had an issue at John Pond?
Michael
How is
will,
that
it's
gonna
his
be
field.
handled?
Can we just skip this and talk at another time and just talk about money?
Because we can't put in our, to ARPA for
ARPA, we can't do
maintenance,
anything.
so we
like
can
maintenance.
Okay,
put that into
Alright.
contracts
well,
next to.
later
next
time.
Okay,
meeting.
Scott, as you see here, if you go down there, it's just a lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, if we just leave it a lot and not line up parking lines, then it's gonna be a disaster.
Right, like
People are
John
gonna
Pond.
park whatever. Now, Scott had an idea. Will you tell him your idea, Scott?
Okay, and I've seen this in other places. They'll go in and put a stripe line. You can use the paint. But if you go in with lime and open it wide up and put, that much lime, it's gonna stay for a long time. And I mean, we can go over it with the painter if it need be, but, because it's gravel, even if you put real paint down, it's gonna break up when
Oh,
it's
yeah.
driven
Not
over.
gonna stay.
The lime's gonna actually handle it better.
So do we want it done professionally at first and then have Ryan maintain it instead of him doing the whole thing? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave it to Ryan. I'd ask soccer for help. They spray the fields every week, so,
This is a big job. This is two huge parking.
I realize that.
So I'm saying, do we want someone to start it and then soccer maintain it or Ryan maintain it? That's my question to you.
Either or, I mean,
Where the
if
supplies are gonna come from?
you're gonna need to buy some lime. Just
It's
like we did for
lime,
baseball.
Not paint,
Are you saying line or lime?
lime.
I was saying lime.
Okay.
Because if you put a thick, heavy coat of lime, it'll take rain. It'll last. It'll last the whole season.
Is that okay
Whereas
to
if
use with natural heritage?
it's natural lime, it's lime
It's
that
lime,
you put on
yeah.
your
Goes in the
grass and.
ground?
Oh,
It's the
Okay.
same, we put fertilizer on the fields, so I think it would be the
Yeah,
same.
I mean, the
thing.
lime that you put in your grass,
Okay, so that's not gonna be a money issue then.
I mean,
Nope,
you
that
can, if you
doesn't-
wanna factor in something to have someone do it the first time and do it, so that they stripe it out and do it accordingly, then that's probably not a bad idea. But that's gonna be,
All right, so I'll put a figure to it, and then I'll put on it, initial lining of parking lot.
and I'm just, we could get an idea from Nate because he was involved in
We need to
getting,
do it tonight.
okay.
Give
I'm
me a
just,
number.
I have no idea. I don't know what it costed. I was just trying to go off the parking lot that we did out here.
All right. How about this? We can approve everything else and put a stipulation that we approve up to 5,000 more for the lining. And then if we get the money, great. If we don't, we don't do it. Once we get a price. Is that something acceptable, Melissa?
Yeah.
Or do we just put it in there? If we don't use it, we use it, and then we'll use it for something else down there. It's probably just to put the money in and come up with a figure that's 30% more than what we'll need. Because come April, these prices might jump up. Picnic benches, whatever we do, signs might go up.
Well, I was gonna come up with your price and then add in 10% anyhow,
Right.
just on a total. As a
Well,
minimum.
the other thing is, we're gonna get these signs cheaper from Frank, by the way.
Mhm.
He's just giving it to me as
Mhm,
retail.
mhm.
Frank?
Frank Highway Department
He
can
gets
buy
it.
them cheaper because it's a.
Oh, okay.
So I come up with a figure,
So what do you got? You got sign, you got trees, you got lights, you got bleachers, you got lime. And what else did you have?
Wash station.
Washing, yeah.
Picnic tables.
so I think 20 grand would cover it.
No,
No?
the fence is 23.
No. This is separate. Then this was one, remember I said, we gotta approve this, and then approve this, and then put them together. This will go into this figure,
So we're doing 2 approvals and then you're gonna put it together and present it as one?
yes. Well, this one is a no-brainer because they won the bid, so we have to approve this.
For the southeast
Yeah.
fence.
This
Yeah.
one we have to approve, it's technicality. This
Okay.
other stuff, we need to approve so they can add it to this, and then give it to RE, and then they can go to the select board, and the select board said go.
Well,
Okay, so
If
I,
you put,
Go ahead.
I would add 2,000 as a 10% contingent fee.
well, if you have 7,500 for signs, 5,000 for parking, 2,500 for bleachers, that's 15,000.
2,500 for what?
Right, it came up to
Bleachers.
$19,800.
$7,500.
That's 15,000 right there.
For sign?
It came up to
Yes.
19,800,
Why?
Because we're getting a good sign.
Melissa.
For
I
picnic
I added, it
tables?
came up to 19,800.
You did the picnic tables too?
I didn't have a figure for picnic tables.
I figured 500 each, so that's two grand.
Okay, so now you're at 22,000.
And the hand washing station?
That was
are-
1,000.
No.
Can we put that in?
No,
Is
we're
that
not.
something-
If we
doing
rented
that.
it,
We're leasing it, so we can't put that as
Okay.
ARPA.
all right.
And trash cans?
Trash cans, we can't do trash cans because that's not an ARPA thing.
It's gonna come out of our budget.
Gotta come up
Okay.
with, you know what, I'm not worried about that.
All right,
Does Frank have
so
extra?
what, will-
So it's
What was
I had
22
to go- I had to
plus,
go buy them for clip-on this year.
so you said 22 plus 10%?
Well, 20, so now it's at 22. Yeah.
10% is 25, we'll just say.
Yeah, that's,
So we're at
that's what I was gonna,
22,000.
so I was gonna
And
say
then
20. make it-
10% on price increases or whatever, so it would be 25 for the signs and everything and 23,190.
I have a question about the signs. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't realize that was that much for the signs alone. Why do we need reflective signs?
well, it's that big sign that's the most money. To put at the entrance so everybody knows where they are.
Got it.
That's a
Okay.
big one.
I didn't recognize,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't
That's
realize
gonna
that.
be
I
the
was like,
reflective?
you know, that was.
No, that's gonna be
It's gonna
the,
be lit, like this
Oh,
one
okay,
here.
just,
Got it.
okay, gotcha.
Okay,
Alright, so we're at 48,190, it's just got for 50.
48.
And I'll list everything, I'll write it, I'm gonna have to get that done this weekend, I'll send you a copy. I will not be here next week, maybe we can drop it off,
yeah.
okay?
All right, so do you have a motion? Cause
Yes.
we're, motion to ask the select board for this money to do the North Fields.
We're making a motion to ask for ARPA money for, to install the tennis, to install the, fence for the soccer fields at a price of 23,190. And then we're gonna ask them for the remainder, and we'll list what they're for. And that'll come up to 50 grand, we'll make it come up to 50. So one One is for this, and the other one is to finish it off, the signs, the lights, the tree stuff.
Right, the fence is still under the money we had, right? Are we still,
That money's gone. This 23 is coming out of a new ARPA deal,
ARPA.
So
okay?
the motion being made is to ask the select board for $50,000 in ARPA
To
funds.
include fence, and then we'll list everything else.
Do we have to vote on them separately to
No.
present it to the board?
No, they don't care. We'll give them a list, but they're not gonna, I mean, the finance committee guy said,
Bless you.
and Brian, if you guys wanna put up lights, let's do it right. Well, we're not gonna do that, okay?
Did you get a price for that?
No.
you're talking a couple hundred grand.
Yeah. So, there goes John Parker. So, yeah, they want it done right one time, because this money's gone
Yeah,
after the end of next year.
yeah.
Just like the playground, after this, we can't get it, we can't ask for any more next year, we can't ask any more for anything. So let's just get it done right. Everything gets approved, everything works out, these fields should be open by April 1st.
Gee, are we gonna have a coverage over the fields, like the stadiums?
So I made the
Adjustable
motion.
roof?
A
Yeah, that's
dome.
coming too.
I don't,
Yeah,
the Lakeville Dome.
There you go, that would be good.
Is it gonna
Let's
retract?
Solve
Yeah.
yeah,
problems.
retractable, yeah.
Yeah.
Open it up when the
You want me
sun's
to
up
motion?
and then
Yeah.
close
Did
up
you
for the
motion?
training.
I motion.
We don't have a second. Anybody second Mike's motion?
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, Paula?
I said aye.
Oh, right, I didn't hear you. All aye, unanimous.
Been all me tonight. My fault.
We had talked a lot. We would have been out of here in 20 minutes. Okay, that's a lot of work and that's a long time coming, so it's good to see the end is near.
Insight.
Amen.
amen to that.
All right, capital projects updates, others. Do we have any others? I believe the shed is done. Woohoo!
I haven't
I
even
drove
looked.
by today, the roof was on, the doors were on, they looked good. I did not go inside to see if the wood was there, the
Yeah.
extra wood.
I meant to stop today, I didn't have
Well,
time.
they built a ramp to go into the double doors, so your wood might be gone because they might have used it to do the ramp.
No, they were
There's
doing the
more.
ramp the other day when I was there, they had separate wood.
Okay?
And they had 2 piles and they promised that they would leave it inside so Doug could use them if he needed to build
Okay.
shelves.
So we have to run that electric
In the spring.
And Doug was here, he said we don't need a new pump,
Okay,
just so you know.
all right, no,
Just,
Yeah.
that was,
he
that was,
pointed
the-
It might change when he goes to start it up in the
Yeah,
spring.
we will have the
We'll
money
never
for
know.
it, but if we don't need it, then we need to spend that money by July.
right, so it'll get put in June, May or June when.
Right.
If we need it.
When, well, no, that's when
No,
they
the
put,
pump.
no, that's when they put in the other pump. That's when they put the pump in.
Oh, yeah,
Because they
okay.
take it out, physically take it out and bring it down to the maintenance
Cause he
building
says it's fine.
Oh,
But the electric we're gonna have to do in the spring.
Yep,
for the building.
for the building, for the shed.
and we have money for that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
we're good.
Any other capital projects? That's it for capital projects, right? The playground, the shed, and the North Fields for right now.
Yes.
Right? Is that all we have?
Unless
Yeah.
you're at town meeting. Oh my God.
Oh, you were there? We didn't see you.
Poor John Pond Park. Took a beating.
They put
I
it
had
in the
people
paper.
apologizing to me.
It did.
Sorry I said that. I'm like, it's true.
Yeah. But I think there was a misconception. Like,
Yes.
that money was only for the plans to redo John Pond Park. So I think we're gonna have a lot of disappointed people
Yeah.
come next season when all these improvements that they think we just voted on happened.
Yes.
So I'm not sure where that miscommunication came from, but
It just was not explained.
yeah, because, I mean, Mark did a great job. He got everybody fired up and nobody, not one person stood up and said anything bad after that.
No,
Yeah.
the president got up and did such a good spiel that nobody even
dared.
rebutted it.
No,
Yeah, I
so
heard
That's
he,
good
he
news.
spoke well.
Yeah, he did.
he did, and it was, he did rip it apart from top to bottom. So I think people think that those issues that he brought up are gonna be fixed right away, and the sad fact is nothing happens right away. And that was just for the money to do the engineering plan, the preliminary engineering plan to redo John Pond Park, and then we have to wait for the money to come in. Now, the other part of that is the Betty's Neck did not get the one-stop grant this year that they applied for. And they were, in an ideal world, they were getting it this year and we were applying for it next year because we have never gotten one before. So we kind of thought we were a shoo-in. That did not happen. So I don't know if that bumps us back a year because they're gonna
Oh, you
still,
mean the grant from the state to do the project?
To
Okay.
do which project?
Betty's Neck.
Betty's
So
not-
what grant did they not get for Betty's Neck?
That one-stop grant from the state to redo everything.
They didn't get the grant, but they still asked for 70,000.
That was just to
Because
redo
that
the
was a
roof.
different,
What is this new grant for?
well, it was a $500,000 grant to redo Betty's Neck.
What do
There's
they need to
nothing at
redo?
Betty's Neck. What are they
There's a,
redoing?
there's a building there.
I don't know.
Is that the Peach Barn? or-
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because now I don't,
It was
so
a
I don't,
$500,000 grant.
I don't know what leaves for our future because that was the
Uh-huh.
It was a
plan.
$500,000 grant.
There is.
That's what they
but
went
we didn't
for.
get it.
What?
Well,
That
if they were
wasn't,
for a
that wasn't
different-
discussed.
But it's
Brandon, that wasn't discussed.
$600,000 to repair an ancient barn that no one goes to because you can't even get there without destroying your car.
But we don't know what was in their plan. They
Yeah,
could have been
could've
doing
been-
trails, they could have been doing bathrooms, they could have been doing all kinds of things.
Got
We
it.
don't know that.
Okay,
We haven't seen the plan.
that's a lot of money.
It is. Well, we're asking for the same thing for John Pond Park, right? And that's not gonna be enough to do all the things we wanna do at John Pond Park. It just simply isn't because the building is gonna be
100,000?
probably, right?
Yeah, but that's what the roof cost. So we can't apply for this next year because.
No. I don't know what the plan is.
Okay.
I don't know if that is gonna bump us back a year or not.
Okay.
Mike, I was gonna ask, do you know if they were gonna try and use ARPA funds to bring the water down from Blueberry Estates?
That's a different, that was approved, but it's from different.
Grant?
money.
Yeah,
The
they've
grant.
already
It
got.
had nothing to do with ARPA. it was a
Oh, okay,
grant.
all right.
Yeah.
They just.
So that's part of
um,
this 500,000?
They're working with Blueberry, no, that's separate, the money's there, that's all, now they just have to wait for Blueberry Estates to work out a deal to
Oh,
bring the
really?
water through Blueberry Estates.
But don't they need Taunton water that's Taunton, right?
No, I believe that's Middleborough.
I'm
I
not
think
sure
it's
who it
Taunton.
is.
It's time.
It's
It
Taunton.
comes up from, the old hospital property was Middleborough.
You're
You
right.
may be, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the water company needs to approve that too.
Yeah.
Right,
But that's the
well,
Middleborough
it's,
side.
cause it has to go through Blueberry Estates, so they need the permission, and they're working with Blueberry Estates to actually get it through to John Pond.
And they don't
Park.
even have the plans done yet, the engineering.
No, I know.
It's gonna take a while.
But the money's there for that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
already in place.
Oh, okay, good, that's great, I didn't, that's what I was getting at, I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
gonna be,
No, because nobody has explained that to us, like,
no.
and I think there's water at Ted Williams Camp too. Does that ring a bell to anybody coming through to there?
They
don't know.
talked about it.
Nobody.
What do you wanna know?
I don't know.
What do you wanna know?
Where's the
I can-
water? Is that all set too?
There's Taunton water that comes into the lodge. That's Taunton water,
And the
Right, but
COA,
that's already
right?
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
yep. And the
COA
water,
gets it too.
and the COA, yep.
That's the line that broke the other day.
Oh,
Frank said it didn't break.
It,
Okay.
Anyhow.
We can talk about that
I thought it
in
broke
20 minutes
20 minutes.
if you'd like. Well, it's not our business, right? So we can talk about the senior centers. All right, where are we? We're done, right?
Really
Number
no
9.
updates on the project list, I don't think.
Nope, and we'll do league agreements next time. All right, our next meeting is when? Just,
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
I was gonna propose to have a meeting on November 30th, but Peter
We-
said,
we
please,
didn't do
please do
November.
not.
Yeah. Okay.
So December 7th, did you say?
We didn't do number 9.
What is number 9?
Review and update current project
There
list.
was no,
None.
But I had a question.
okay, go ahead.
There was discussion at the last select board meeting regarding the security cameras. They said that the security cameras here at Ted Williams were supposed to tie into the police station and they would.
But there are none because, I was working with,
Ryan,
Officer
Ryan
Maltese.
Malte and Ari, and they sent me a note last summer saying there was technology problems and they'd have to do different technology, so there's nothing out there. I wouldn't have gotten security cameras if we could have tied into anything,
Yeah.
okay? I was given permission to say, okay, since we can't do it, you can put up your own cameras. They can't be tied in, the cameras that we got, they're not that advanced. So either they got the story wrong, but the technology couldn't handle what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's
I
fine.
can send an email.
It was just made to sound like the Parks Department backed out of something, and
no,
I didn't
no.
know it. Okay, all right.
Believe me, I wanted that.
That
Then
was at
we
the
were gonna-
last select board meeting?
We were gonna use the
Yes,
cameras
yeah.
and they were gonna come into our phones. What happened to that?
We're
My
not
phone.
putting them up until the
My
spring.
phone.
That's still the plan.
Oh.
Through an app. It's not specifically someone's phone, it's through an app.
It's through an app that can be tied to.
Right.
Right.
It's just.
Are
we're
we
doing
gonna
that
go
later.
forward with that?
Oh, yeah, but there's no sense putting it up now.
Right,
But we
okay.
will do that. We have the cameras, we're ready to go, but I don't wanna spend $169 a month now.
Okay, but it's in the plan.
It's ready to go.
Okay.
Can I ask what the status of the skate park is? Hold? Done?
I've
What is,
been so busy with what we're doing to get done. I'd be glad to look at it once we're done with the Northfield. I haven't
Okay.
even, it's not even in my purview right now.
okay, good.
Through you. Did we talk about the camera down at John Pond? We were just talking about cameras. It reminded me
Yeah,
that camera was the police camera
the police.
and
camera.
not the
Not
one Mike had
ours.
bought. Okay.
Because Mike said that I thought Mike said he put it up and he brought a ladder there,
Right, but he didn't.
but he didn't,
He didn't.
so.
So our camera was not stolen?
No,
Yeah,
correct.
The police came and,
The police came and took down their camera.
So the police had put a camera up there and they removed it?
When
So
we were
no
having
cameras were
when we were
stolen?
having problems down there,
No.
they had a break-in, right? Didn't they have a break-in?
Yeah.
So
Well,
they
so they put
put,
them down.
they
but
put
then
the
took it
vandalism,
down.
whatever it was, so they put a camera up for a while and they took
And
theirs
it looked
down.
just like ours. It had the solar, I mean, it's like they bought ours. It was the exact same thing. And I thought, Mike
Right.
put it up.
Right, and I talked to Mike, I saw Mike and he said, no, I didn't put it up, it's at the camp.
Why'd they take it down?
Because it was just put up temporarily because they
The
would,
snack bar got broken into.
yeah, they either got broken into a vandalism, I can't remember what
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
now.
they had vandalism in the, unit, the, porta
Sorry,
park.
I knew we
and
were
then-
almost
Yeah,
done.
that's right, before the party, we had
Make a
the
motion.
window,
Um,
window smashed.
John Pond Park is empty now, right? Blooper ball's done, softball's done,
Get the
porta
potty.
potty's gone,
They're gone, I was gonna say, make sure we get them out of
The,
there.
trash ends the end of this month. So we're all good.
We should lock that trash up, because it mysteriously
Otherwise,
grows
people
trash.
put it in, yeah,
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 it's not in use. You're right. We should.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's spots to put, we can put a couple green locks on it.
yeah,
and
that's, I
Yeah.
think they.
If they're gonna
worked
leave
on
it there, I mean, I don't know, I mean, they leave the one at they leave the one at Clear Pond.
Clear Pond, yeah, I don't know.
Brenda, that's your territory. So you-
All right, anything
I
else
just
over
go
there?
throw a lock on it?
Anything else?
Yeah,
Okay.
do
We
we
got
have a
some
couple?
I'll make a
greens?
All right.
combination
couple
when I give you
green
the word. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
I make a motion to adjourn this wonderful meeting that we got a lot done. Thank you.
Did we schedule the next one?
December 7th.
7.
Thank you. I second. Wait, what about the 4th? Are we going to try and meet on the select board as a joint meeting?
I don't know how they feel about that, but we can ask them.
It's not on their, I don't think it's on their agenda, is it?
What?
Yeah, but it's not
Loan
next
bond
Monday. It's
contract?
2 weeks away.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Okay.
Well, once we reject it,
So
it
not the
goes to
30th?
the select board.
They're still gonna present it to the select board, and I doubt we're gonna get a joint meeting, so we're gonna
Right.
have to go there and present our case. That's what's gonna have to happen.
Well,
But are we gonna ask
Well,
for
I'll object, and Melissa will be objecting against me, so it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, but
no,
when-
if you want to go and bring it and object to it, that's fine. I will go as a resident of Lakeville.
And
good.
when will
So
they
you
be
can come with me.
meeting?
You can come with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the
Um,
meeting going 3 weeks, will the next one be potentially 2 weeks after that, which would be the 21st of December, which I will not be making.
Yeah, we
Because I
will
have
probably
Christmas,
just
I have
skip.
Christmas party that
We'll
afternoon.
probably just skip
Sorry.
that one.
I've done that all
Oh,
week.
yeah,
It's
gonna
Christmas
have a
week.
good
Everyone's gonna
time.
be gone.
Skip that one too. My guess is not a lot is going to come in.
Right, so we could go
So
the
we
week
can-
after Christmas.
You know,
Yeah, let's do.
So we go
that.
3 weeks and 3 weeks. I mean, we used to do this around the holiday. We used to
Yeah.
spread it out because it's just,
The week
Yeah.
after Christmas, the week before Christmas and after should be just not do anything, because there's
Yeah.
really nothing on the table.
Well,
So the week of the
I'll send you an
27th.
email of all stuff to think about while you're on vacation after you've
Okay.
had a few
Yeah.
cocktails,
Um,
because when we come back,
When's
it'll
the
be
select
like,
board meeting that we should attend?
The 4th, it's
December 4th?
December 4th.
I'm gonna confirm that tomorrow and make sure it's on the
So it's-
agenda.
Yeah, Monday.
3 Mondays away.
Yeah. And that's when we want to present our case.
Yeah.
well,
You-
if it's not a joint meeting,
Yeah,
then only 2 members of the commission can go and
That's
speak.
not
but
true.
we can go as
Otherwise-
private
That's not true.
citizens.
If it's, you can go as a private citizen.
Yeah.
Right,
Correct. We could all be there.
right, absolutely,
Okay.
okay? You just can't speak as a
Correct,
commissioner.
correct.
Okay, all in favor of adjourning at, oh my goodness,
I second Michael's motion.
9:09.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
All
Happy
aye.
Happy Thanksgiving.